Hi everyone, Coach Ali here. I just wanted to make a little video and respond to a question that I had about how do we respond when our brain is perceiving danger, not so much about wakefulness anymore, but about the fear of the next day, how we're going to feel the next day, and really any other fear that is around the insomnia experience. So this is in response to Anne. Thanks for the question, Anne. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of a more in-depth answer. So yes, it really is very much the way recovery kind of goes, that's the first fear that's going to dissipate, is our fear of wakefulness itself. As we start to lean in a little bit towards the discomfort of being awake at night, showing the brain it's perfectly safe, we're okay, and we're no longer having such a big reaction to being awake at night. It's more like, okay, I don't like it, but I can do it. I'm capable of handling it. And so that fear starts to fade. And that is usually the first of the fears, right? But the thing about insomnia or any inner struggle is that the brain is actually in a state of hypervigilance. It's in a state of being hyper alert. And when the brain is in that state, hypervigilance mode, it starts to just tag everything as a threat, right? Very, very benign, not unsafe things as potential threats. And so as we get more comfortable with being awake at night, then the brain starts tagging other things, right? Well, what about this? What about how you're going to feel the next day? What about that early morning meeting? What about that vacation you have coming up, right? And on it goes. It's just going to start tagging everything, very, very harmless things as potential threats. And this is just the nature of the brain. So you're not doing anything wrong. But when our brain is in this hypervigilant, hyper alert mode, that's what it does. It's scanning for threat all the time. And these represent these fears. That's what it is, are these fears. So essentially, you can apply the stuff that we talked about in the Meeting the Fear of Fear video, because it's all very, very similar to this. Because, sorry about that. Fear reacts the same way in the brain. It doesn't matter what the fear is. Our brain is going to respond the same way to fear, no matter what the fear is. So the good news here is you don't have to do anything different. You don't have to do anything at all, because it's just a misunderstanding. But we can respond in the exact same way that we do to any fear that we might encounter along this journey. And that is to say that it is safe, right? And though we might feel okay with being awake, and then we're nervous about the next day, or we're kind of scared of how we're going to feel the next day, we can meet that in the same way that we've met wakefulness, right? Going, yeah, I might not feel great. I might not be 100%. I might feel tired, and I might feel groggy. And that is okay. It's actually safe to feel tired. It's not ideal. It's not our preference, but it's definitely not the end of the world, and it is definitely not dangerous. And so this is how we start to meet all of these fears, is by showing the brain, by meeting this experience and going through this experience and getting through this day that we were kind of scared of, and being okay, because we have experience that shows us and tells us that we have gotten through every difficult day. And we will keep getting through the difficult days. And I know it's not comfortable. Believe me, I've had so many sleepless nights on my journey and dreaded, that next day. But so much of it was because I was fighting, I was resisting, I was trying to control, manage, and fix the feelings that I was having, the feelings of fear, the feelings of anxiety, the feelings of the dread. But if I just allowed them to be there and just said, yeah, I do feel this, and it does suck, and I don't like it, but I am going to live through it. I am going to be okay. And I can do little things in my day that are nice, that are ways that I'm going to show myself kindness and take care of myself and be gentle with myself, right? Because this gives my brain this message of safety, of it's okay, I got you, right? We can go through these hard things and we can support ourselves through it. So for me, often that looked like if I, had a challenging night and I was really dragging the next day, I would go get myself my favorite matcha at my local coffee shop that I loved, and that wasn't something I did every day, but it was something that I did as a nice thing to do for myself, right? So there's little things we do to show ourselves we're okay, we can get through this, we can support ourselves, and we show the brain safety. We convey these safety messages when we can do that. So I hope that makes sense, Anne, and we can meet every single fear along the journey in the same way. If we can just remember that fear is responding and reacting in the brain the same way, no matter what the fear is, it's going to react by reading our responses, right? So it's how we interpret what's happening that leads the brain to either respond with messages of danger, this is a perceived danger, and I'm going to alert all, protective mechanisms, alarm systems on, or the brain goes, oh, okay, Allie seems to be okay. She's not freaking out, so it must be okay. And then those alarm bells start to come down, the hyperarousal starts to come down, things start getting easier. I hope that makes sense. Feel free to leave questions and comments and I'll try to answer them. Thanks so much. Thanks for being here.